Hi, I'm Brander.
And I'm Jocelyn, and here's 5 reasons why we decided to homestead. The first reason that we want to homestead is because of the taste. So once we dived into vegetables and fruit, we discovered the farmer's market, and we took the advice of trying everything that we usually cook and like, as well as other things that maybe we've tried before and didn't like. Once we did that, we realized that there's a completely different taste.
Man, I don't even know how to explain it.
Carrots have an actual taste. They taste sweet. Radishes aren't plain or sour. They have a spicy taste to them. Brussels sprouts, oh, they are sweet and delicious. So just the taste of the food is probably a big reason why we want to grow our own food as part of our homestead.
Number 2 is cost. When we got to the farmer's market, it started out with 15, 20 bucks. I mean, we're just tasting here and there. But with 5 kids, me and Jocelyn going out and shopping and looking around, bill was getting expensive. And I'm just like, oh, what do we need to do to cut budget? What can we do to help each other out on that end?
So as we went to the farmers markets, we'd ask them questions on like, oh, how do you guys grow this? We'd ask questions and get more advice. We realized that growing it ourselves would be a lot cheaper. Third reason for us is the way it makes us feel. So knowing like, we did this, we grew this. It gives you the satisfaction of putting a seed into some dirt. I got so giddy and happy after we did that last year. We planted a bunch of seeds. 7 days later, green leaves were popping up through it. And I was like, oh my gosh, they're growing, they sprouted. And then taking them out into the garden and seeing the progress week after week, then getting to harvest it was so cool.
I was shocked. I was like, what? There's so many green things. And she's like, well, this is for onions, carrots, cilantro. She just started naming things after. I'm like, are you serious? This is awesome. She's like, wait a couple more weeks. These carrots are gonna come out.
Yes.
And I'm like, carrots? I was like, oh. It's just an excitement feeling.
Exciting
because that's like,
doing
man,
it.
this was so easy to put. Like literally we were there and it was exciting because Yuvia, Isaiah were helping us literally at a time. So we knew this is what Yuvia did, this is what Isaiah did.
Yeah,
so
it's a group effort. So from start to finish, we go to the store and we pick out the seeds as a family, and that's like a fun bonding thing. And then when it comes time, everyone's like, ooh, I wanna grow this, I wanna grow that. What kid doesn't love playing in dirt inside the house? From there, planting it outside and all the prep work that comes with that, we get lost in the garden.
Yeah, it was from wheelbarrow after wheelbarrow, shovel after shovel. We start seeing Braylon, 3-year-old, trying to just shovel that in, and they're like, Papi, Mommy, put a seed. I was like, okay, come on.
The amount of time that we've spent in the garden to prep for it as a family, working, and it didn't feel like work.
No.
It felt amazing.
Every bed that we accomplished, we're like, yes. One more to go, and then we look at the time and it's like, oh my God, we passed lunch.
Yeah, we skipped lunch. There was an afternoon we were in the garden and we completely skipped lunch because we were just going at it. Yeah. So it makes us feel really good, and it's so hands-on, gaining knowledge by doing it. Then you have the satisfaction of like tasting. It's like a reward at the end of it all. The way it makes you feel, you have a sense of pride in what you're doing.
You made this far, like and subscribe.
Reason number 4.
Animals. Literally, one of the most important things is therapy for me is touching them, petting them to the point that they feel like they're family. One of the things that I liked and experienced with ducks is whenever I would make sure my hand was with the food, they would come in and peck, but they would look at me like, okay, where's the food at? Where's more? Like they would look at me like, you're my only reason to get fed today. Come on, come on. I would get excited. I was like, okay, but they're very vulnerable at that point. So what I would do is they would feed and I'll grab them. And then I quack, 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 and then I just calm them down. They kind of close their eyes and I was like, this feels good. Next thing you know, it's like all of them around you and I'm like, oh my God.
He's like petting them on. He's like hugging them on. He's like, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Okay, not that bad. But you know what I mean? Like, it just feels good to feel wanted in a certain reason that, I don't know how to explain it.
The animals make you feel good because they're soft and they're cute.
I know.
They're fun to watch too, as we're like walking on the property. We see the ducks and they're splashing and playing. It's just nice to just like take that moment in. And having the animals just makes you feel good. It's very therapeutic having animals on your property.
Yeah,
for
and
sure.
the more we get, it's like, ooh, we can get more. Let's get more.
Yes.
The last reason
Reason number 5 is probably the most important reason, is knowing how our food was raised, what it was fed, the way the vegetables were grown. Knowing those things about your food is so important because so much of health goes into what you put into your body and what the animals you consume, what they put into their body as well.
Those are the bad things I'm learning, and I'm like, whoa, like I was just shocked at what the things they would eat.
Yeah.
And then when we asked our local farmers, they would tell us, no, just grass-fed.
Fruit, vegetables, food scraps, those kind of things. As we began to take classes on the way to garden and the way to raise your food, and when it came down to butchering too, we learned that the way that they are butchered contributes to the way they taste as well, because the amount of stress that they're under.
When I learned, I was shocked because in my culture, how they a chicken, one would hold it and the other person will just snap the neck. And I disliked the chicken every time that we ate it and she cooked it because it was hard. And I was like, ugh. We went to classes and she went to cut a chicken. We put it in one of the metal cones.
Yeah, so the process that we learned was much calmer, simpler, easy, calmer, more humane. The animal was literally taken from the tractor that it was in, grazing, and then you put it into a cone where it's then snuggled and calm, and it's processed that way, and it was happy the entire time. And so there was no stress in the meat.
And the meat was a lot, man, it was a lot softer, easy to tear out. I was just like, wow, and that's an impact. And that for me, I had to educate my family, like, hey, we should start doing this. You'll see the difference on the taste, the texture, the whole 9 yards.
We gifted a lot of the stuff that we got to show our family, like, look how cool this is, look how yummy it tastes. One of the great things we love about the mentors that we've had here, they're completely open about showing you the whole process of everything. She literally showed us, this is the pasture that these chickens have been on. This is where they were born. This is the mother of these chickens. This is how they lived. And now you're getting to see the way they are processed.
And that's what we want to educate people. And that's just why the process we're doing these things, because we want to be an open book. We want to see the progress. At the end of the day, this is why we ask, hey, get some feedback. We're learning. And I know you guys are.
Yes.
So
follow with us. These are our 5 reasons that our family chose to homestead. So if you're homesteading or you're getting into homesteading, please let us know what your reasons are.
Reason number 4. Feeling, oh shoot. Feeling.
Animals.
Okay.
Feeling number 4. Reason number 4.